Have you ever been excited about someone you met on a dating app? You exchange messages, share common interests, and plan a date, but suddenly, without warning, they vanish into thin air, leaving you wondering what went wrong. Think to yourself, could they have been abducted by aliens? We may never know. Have you ever, after a great first date, eagerly awaited a follow-up invitation from the other person? However, days turn into weeks and you never hear from them again. And just like that, they are gone. But hey, at least you saved your money on that non-existent dinner date at the Cheesecake Factory. I mean, what did you expect? You've been dating someone for a few weeks and things seem to be going well. Suddenly, you stop responding to your messages and calls. Maybe you started a new career as a professional hide and seeker. You've been in a committed relationship for months, but your partner starts becoming distant and avoiding your attempts to communicate. Eventually, they completely disappear without any explanation. Abacadabra, the relationship just disappeared.
What's going on? People tell me, please, what's going on?
These scenarios are just a glimpse of what many people go through when faced with ghosting. Now, I want to pose a question to you. Have you ever found yourself in a similar situation? If the answer is yes, well, you're obviously not alone. Whether you've been ghosted or want to understand this phenomenon better, you've come to the right place. As technology and social media continue to play an increasingly prominent role in our lives, it's no surprise that ghosting has become a common occurrence. Ghosting refers to the act of suddenly ending all communication with someone, usually after a date or two, without any communication. It's like being left on red, but with a twist of disappearing axe magic. The term ghosting originated in the context of online dating, but it has since expanded to other forms of communication, including friendship and even professional relationships. The practice of ghosting is not a recent phenomenon. However, in fact, it has been around for centuries. The term ghosting originated in the 2000s, but the act itself dates back to the ancient times. So it seems even our ancestors were experts in the art of ghosting. For example, the Roman poet Ovid wrote about a woman who disappeared without a trace after rejecting a man's advances. Yep, guys have been taking L's for centuries, but I'm sure you could already tell if you are a guy yourself. However, with the advent of technology, ghosting has become more prevalent and easier to do. According to a survey conducted by the dating app Plenty of Fish, 78% of respondents have been ghosted at least once. One of the reasons why ghosting has become so prevalent is that it's now easier than ever to connect with people online. With a simple swipe or click, we can initiate contact with someone we find interesting. However, with the ease of connection comes the possibility of easily disconnecting. Many people find it difficult to tell someone they are no longer interested in a relationship or a friendship. Ghosting is a way to end the relationship without confronting pesky and uncomfortable emotions that often come with it. It's like a magic spell that makes awkward conversations disappear. Psychologists have identified several reasons why people may ghost. One common explanation is that it's a way to avoid confrontation or conflict. By simply disappearing, the person avoids having an awkward conversation or hurting the other person's feelings. Another reason for ghosting is that it can be a way to exert control over a situation. By disappearing without explanation, the ghoster can maintain power and keep the other person guessing. It's a way to avoid being vulnerable and risking rejection. It could also sometimes be really because they are unsure about their feelings and want to make some time to think about their situation. Ghosting may not seem like a big deal to many people. However, the effects of ghosting can be devastating for the person on the receiving end. It can lead to insecurity, self-doubt, worthlessness, and even depression. Yes, you had a self-esteem card revoked permanently. It wasn't a dream, Tom, especially in women, as they are rarely the ones on the receiving end. And these people complain about the same wage gap. Let's talk about the disproportionate ghosting distribution. The sudden disappearance without explanation can leave individuals questioning their value and desirability. For some individuals, abrupt rejection can trigger past traumas and intensify symptoms of anxiety and depression. It can also contribute to a sense of isolation and lead to feelings of abandonment and rejection even. Repeated experiences of ghosting can erode trust in relationships and hinder one's ability to engage in open and honest communication. When ghosting becomes a pervasive behavior, individuals may become guarded, reluctant to invest emotionally, and skeptical of forming new connections. This erosion of trust and communication can have a long-lasting effect on personal relationships and society as a whole. Taking a broader view, the widespread nature of ghosting can have a significant and detrimental effect on society. As this behavior becomes more common, it is important to consider the potential long-term consequences. Let's explore some predictions that shed light on the future impact of ghosting. As ghosting becomes more prevalent, it undoubtedly contributes to a culture of shallow relationships and superficial interactions. Avoiding emotional depth and commitment perpetuates a cycle of fleeting connections and a lack of meaningful engagement. It's probably the worst thing to happen since the invention of Snapchat stories. No, I do not care about the daily happenings of your life, Kylie. I was just trying to get the cheeks, dismantle the kitty, and leave the city. When we look at this trend in the context of societal changes and the gradual decline of deep human connections, it becomes clear that ghosting poses a significant challenge to our emotional intelligence and empathy and effective communication. In a world where ghosting has become the norm, our ability to navigate complex emotions and build genuine connections is at risk. This widespread phenomenon can have a long-lasting effect on our emotional intelligence and social skills, potentially hindering our capacity to form meaningful relationships and understand the intricacies of human interactions. Ghosting goes beyond its impact on individual relationships. It also affects the very fabric of our society. As trust diminishes and communication breaks down, the consequences of this behavior extend into various areas, including our professional settings and communities. The negative impact of ghosting can shape social dynamics and disrupt larger societal structures. In fact, it is highly likely that ghosting has already made some impact in these domains. While the prevalence of ghosting may seem daunting, there are strategies and approaches that individuals can adopt to navigate and overcome this phenomenon. This section offers prescriptions for avoiding ghosting and recovering from its emotional aftermath. When starting a new relationship, especially in the realm of online dating, it's important not to invest too much emotionally until you are sure of the other person's level of commitment. While effort is valuable, it's crucial to discern where your efforts will truly bring value. Don't let being ghosted by someone you barely know bother you, as you can never predict how that scenario would have unfolded anyway. Wrong timing, Kevin. We don't need it yet. Building a foundation of trust and establishing clear expectations is essential in combating ghosting. Encourage open conversations about intentions, boundaries, and feelings. Effective communication can help create healthier and more authentic connections. Remember, communication is the modern-day person's kryptonite. If you've been ghosted by a long-time partner or friend, it's best to give them space and respect their decision for non-communication. Focus on processing your own feelings and emotions during this time. Just don't be a little bitch.
Yeah, bitch.
And go cry in your room. That's bad too. Well, you can, but the optics just won't look great. Remember that you have an agency over how you react to any situation in life. Cultivating emotional resilience is key to mitigating the negative impact of ghosting. While you can't control how others behave, you can control how you respond. A sound mind is not easily defeated or hindered by trivial things such as ghosting, especially when one is focused on a particular goal or purpose. And this is where having priorities and goals for yourself in particular comes into play. Occupying your mind with personal priorities and goals can prevent unnecessary negative emotions and distractions. It may seem difficult now, but building these skills and aptitudes over time with commitment and daily practice can help you navigate the challenges of ghosting. Stoicism is necessary to most things in life. As a man, if you can make use of it, you're most likely not going to fail. Ultimately, the rise of ghosting reflects our culture's growing disconnection and preference for superficial relationships. However, by prioritizing meaningful connections and embracing open communication, we can work towards a world where ghosting becomes less common and people can establish genuine, long-lasting relationships. Unless you're into ghosting, that's okay as well, I guess. It's essential to focus on personal growth and becoming the best version of ourselves. Rather than changing to fit someone else's expectations, we should strive to be the kind of person that everyone wants to be with and have as a friend. In the words of Epictetus, first, say to yourself, what would you be, and then do what you have to do. Let this quote inspire you to be true to yourself and take the necessary action to achieve more in life. Thank you for watching this video. You could have done anything else, but you stuck until the end. If you found this content helpful, please remember to like, subscribe, and share the video. And always remember, you are not alone in this journey.
なんとなく生きてんじゃないですか。
迷ってんじゃないですか？生き生きしたい。簡単ですよ。過去のことを思っちゃダメだよ。なんであんなことしたんだろうって怒りに変わってくるから。未来のことも思っちゃダメ。大丈夫かな？ああ、不安になってくるでしょ。ならば、一生懸命、一つのところに命をかける。そうだ！今ここを生きていけば、みんな生き生きするぞ！